Okay, good evening, my dear students. So, today, actually, in this video session, we will be covering the most important topic which is always debated and discussed about, not even just among the intellectuals, but actually, it is discussed even by the school going students. And that is a very simplified topic, but it is of great importance as far as our environment has great deal to do with it, because right now we have to be worried about the climate change. We have to be worried about the place in which we all are living, we all are surviving. So today's concept which we will be discussing is none other than a simple yet a bit scientific one, that is global warming. Now, global warming is actually, I should say, is the aftermath or the consequence of another important aspect that is called the greenhouse effect. Now, generally, why do we call this a greenhouse effect? We need to understand a few of the things before we proceed into global warming or before we proceed into the concept of greenhouse effect. Now, the first and foremost question that comes into our head is like, why the name greenhouse? What is this greenhouse effect? What are the most probable causes of greenhouse effect? And what is likely to happen if this effect goes on occurring for a long period of time? Naturally, we have this answer for that particular question, but in this video, we'll be just going into the details of that particular aspect. Now, first of all, as I said, the first question that why this greenhouse effect? Why the name greenhouse has been given to it? Some other name could have been coined as far as the etymology has to do with it. But why greenhouse? Because greenhouse is actually a place which is completely made up of glass. Okay, it has glass panes, glass ceiling. And why this greenhouse is prepared, or why is it constructed? The name green has got a lot to do with it, and that is nothing but for the growth of plants. Now you might get a question, what happened to the plants? Why have they gone so fussy? Will they not be able to grow in a normal environment in which these plants right in front of our eyes are growing? But it's not the case. It is the case of those plants which are living in the areas where the temperature is extremely low. Extremely low in the sense which is not good enough for the growth. It is very low, like 0 to 5 degrees centigrade, or even in the minus scale. So in that place, for the proper growth of plants, for their survival, they prepare house or they prepare herbariums where the entire wall, the ceiling, everything is made up of glass. Now, have they gone crazy that they have made everything out of glass? No, they have a logic to it. Logic is, glass is one of the substances which actually allows the entry of the hot or the warm radiations of the sun. They get inside it and immediately they warm up the entire place. With a very less amount of light, the entire atmosphere inside the region inside the particular glasshouse or the greenhouse gets heated up sufficiently to provide a temperature which is quite suitable for the growth of the plants. And that is the reason why they prefer greenhouse in the places where the temperature is extremely low for the proper growth of the plants. So this particular effect, in which due to the glass extremely less amount of radiation of the sun gets inside, warms up the entire content completely, and then creates a higher temperature of the surrounding for the survival of the plant. This concept gave rise to this one, that is greenhouse effect. Now, what is this greenhouse effect? In greenhouse effect, we need to keep in mind these three things: entry of radiations, not reflected back, and heating up of the content. This is all we need to focus upon when we are studying about the greenhouse effect. Now, what exactly happens in this greenhouse effect? This is the skeleton, you can say, skeleton of this entire thing. What exactly happens? Now, actually, due to a lot of anthropogenic activities, like the human activities, anthropogenic activities means the human activities or the actions of human or the mankind which contributes to this effect, like automobile emissions, you can say burning of fossil fuels, you can say deforestation, industrialization, and many more. All those activities, they go on piling up the carbon emissions, the pollutant emissions. All those pollutants, they go and start accumulating in the atmosphere, because of which once the radiations of the sun, they enter into the atmosphere, they are not reflected back. As a result, if they stay within the atmosphere, they are definitely going to increase the temperature of the surrounding, and that particular thing is called greenhouse effect. This is called the greenhouse effect. Now, the same phenomenon you might have even seen in case of your car. What you can do is just seal up, you can raise the windows of the car, the glass windows, you definitely have glass windows in cars, and you just seal it up completely and keep it out in the hot sun. After around 2 to 3 hours, you can feel the warmth, you can literally feel it as an oven inside the car. It is no more a car, it is literally an oven where anything can get cooked. So exactly that thing can also be referred to as an example for greenhouse effect. Now, coming to the next point, that what contributes to this greenhouse effect? Greenhouse effect actually is brought about by the emission of GHG, or which we say as the greenhouse gas. Let's make it plural, greenhouse gases, because there is not just one culprit which is responsible for the greenhouse effect. They are the greenhouse gases. Now, the greenhouse gases, once they are emitted, we might ask, like, what is the source of this greenhouse gas? Actually, the source is a lot, like industrialization. We can talk about the anthropological activities and the automobile exhausts. We can talk about deforestation, burning of fossil fuels, or the non-renewable sources of energy. So these are the basic things which actually contribute to the greenhouse effect. Or if we talk about the anthropological activities which are responsible for this thing, so we can use this for major reasons. Another one, last and but not the least, the most essential culprit, population explosion, and to add to the disaster is the lifestyle, luxurious lifestyle. Luxurious lifestyle means they have 2 cars, let us have 3. They have 2 wheelers, let us have 4. So this is what the luxurious lifestyle is. The mindset of the people is at the fault. So these are the most important reasons which contribute to the emission of the greenhouse gases into the atmosphere. Now, for question, if you ask, like, what are basically the greenhouse gases, we can clearly say oxides of carbon. I will not use the term the carbon dioxide. I can say oxides of carbon, sulfur, methane, no doubt, chlorofluorocarbons. The most beautiful term we use or abbreviation we use for this is CFCs, or even HCFCs. Now, what happens once these gases, they start compiling up, or they form a thick layer in the atmosphere? What happens after that? After this, once they form a layer over the Earth's surface, if this is the GHG layer, greenhouse gas layer, we know sun is very liberal in giving out radiations. Those radiations include something called UV. They also emit the gamma, the X-rays, gamma rays, X-rays, and even the infrared radiations. Now, actually, what can pass through the atmospheric layer? Generally, what can pass through the atmospheric layer is normal. It is the visible light range and the infrared rays of short wavelength. The question might come that infrared rays was something we had heard about. What is this infrared rays of the short wavelength? Now actually, in what is the range of this infrared waves? Infrared waves, they actually come up to from 700 nanometer up to 1 millimeter. This is the wavelength of the infrared waves. Now in this case, what happens exactly? Something we divided. This is quite close to 700. That will be your short wavelength. You can say short wavelength infrared radiations, and this one can be considered as your long range wavelength radiations. Okay, so anytime if the visible light range rays and the infrared rays of short wavelength, they are able to enter the atmosphere and they reach the Earth's surface. UV, X-rays and gamma rays, okay, UV, X-rays and gamma rays, they are actually used up by the ozone layer, the friendly ozone layer. They use it up. But what happens? These things, they start getting absorbed. By the night time, by the time it is night, the sun says bye. At that time, these things will be reverted back. They will be reflected back. The earth starts emitting those radiations back into the atmosphere. At that time, what happens? You can see, if any time the atmosphere is cloudy, the sky is cloudy, there are a lot of clouds in the sky. At that time also, these rays, if they start getting reflected back, the clouds obstruct the way. What happens? They are not able to go back. What is the reason? The earth absorbs the infrared radiations in the form of short wavelengths, but when it is radiating it back, they are in the form of long waves, longer wavelength. This is the reason why these longer wavelength radiations, they will not be absorbed or they will not be able to pass this cloud. They are reflected back. Now, this is about the clouds. If instead of clouds, there is a thick layer of the greenhouse gas. Instead of clouds, there is a thick layer of the greenhouse gases. What is going to happen? Exactly the same thing is going to be repeated. These are not going to get reflected back into the atmosphere at any cost. Even if there are no clouds, still they will not be able to reflect it back. What will happen? They stay in this atmosphere. They are hot radiations. They stay in the atmosphere. As a result, what is going to happen? Definitely, the Earth's atmospheric temperature is going to rise. It is definitely going to rise. If this rises, definitely you are not going to feel cool absolutely about it. You are going to feel the warmth. It is going to affect the mankind, the crops, the crop yield, the economy, the wildlife at every cost. So this effect is the greenhouse effect. And what is the consequence of this greenhouse effect? There will be a rise in temperature. There will be a substantial rise in temperature, and that rise in temperature causes this phenomenon, that is global warming. Okay, I hope this part is very much clear to you, that global warming is nothing but the aftermath or the consequence of the greenhouse effect. So I hope this basic thing is quite clear to you. Now we will be seeing exactly that what are the most likely consequences of this global warming, or you can say the impacts of global warming on life.